Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Season 33 Preseason Map Cup, hosted by TFTV and obviously run by ETF2L. My name is Grumpy Koi, and I am joined by two wonderful gentlemen that you dealt with before. I have Beta on production, and I have DuMmTm as my co-caster. How you doing, Dum?
Pretty good. We got to see some mist just now, and now we'll get to see, at least for a little while, until it goes to map 3, a little bit of everything else. The map picks for the grand finals here will be Metalworks into Kalinka into Mist as the map 3 decider. So that should be interesting to see how these maps will be played out. Metalworks being the most known of these 3 maps, but by no means are most of these players super experienced on it either, so it should still be interesting.
Yeah, whenever I've played this, apart from this preseason, it's usually like late night lobbies or something like that, so it's hardly ever played in the EU. But we've also got Kalinka and Mist, and my opinion on Kalinka is I actually kind of enjoyed that map. I think it's kind of an interesting map. It is quite pretty. Yeah, but I know, I like Kalinka quite a bit. I haven't actually got to play Mist, and I haven't really got to experience it because I was too busy getting knocked out on Metalworks during this cup. No surprise there, but yeah, some interesting maps.
We'll see how things play out here. And just to recap for the people just joining, the Dutchies managed to make their way from through quarters into semis, win over the Finns that got their bye into semis, whereas the other team, aka I think you call them Preseason, based off the emotion conveyed by the the science in their name, previously known as Lithuanian Rhapsody, last season I believe was the name, made Div 2 players as far as I know, and came into this cup with, I believe, not the same roster as last season, but close enough, and managed to win over an off-classing top 5, which is still pretty good by all means, even with the off-classes, because it's not like those guys don't know how to play the game at least. And against, I think, a Russian project, if I remember correctly, by looking at the bracket. So both of these teams managing to claw their way into the grand finals here to the only best of 3 days for this whole thing, basically. Before that, it was only best of 1s, and now you have some semblance of a safety net, but at the end of the day, you need to win 2 of these, and you need to be good on the maps to do that. Even if you're not too well practiced, you had, 5 games now to play on these, so you have to make the most of that.
Oh, 100%. But on these maps, especially like Metalworks, I feel like do you know who beat top 5 on what map? So you said it was the
I think it was Metalworks, yeah.
Yeah, it was Metalworks, and it was by the Lithuanian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
we'll call them Lithuanian Rhapsody for sake of posterity. And so Lithuanian Rhapsody actually beat out top 5 Rocket, even though they were off-classing, is a good team in all intents and purposes. So this could be a strong start for them. Have we kind of seen what Louis van Gaal's army have been doing? Like, what's
we've
their...
seen the semis game just now. That was the last game we covered. They managed to closely win over a Finnish project of like previously well-established Div 2-ish or high-ish players and some Div 1 players as well. So just some Finnish high team, basically.
They've got Skyper on that team, right?
Yes, he was playing. So the Neon also previously played with one demo, of course, was playing demo for that team instead.
Oh,
managed to come out on top in a golden cap on Mist, of all things. So it's been a close one for them so far, but now they need to play the map they favored a bit more from what I've seen them say in chat.
Yeah, that does seem like the way. But shall we just like run through the teams? I know some people have seen them, but I don't mind running through what I can see on Lithuanian Rhapsody and just run through their roster. So we've got, it looks like Euthanasia is playing Med. We've got Miju as a Merc, but he's run through. I saw him on the first Copenhagen games. He's not a bad roamer.
But we're on to the first mid-fight already.
Oh, actually. Oh, no, we can't even talk. I didn't even realize we started. Oh no, it's a shambles as we come into the first mid, and Miju does do a big old bomb onto Muffins. This is the classic play of soldiers. They do go straight in onto that lobby area, and they have picked up the players. And with Martin, Jenny, and Tantrum, the only survivors going, they do manage to pick up Euthanasia though, so that's a med for a med. But Lithuanian Rhapsody going to take down that first mid with Jenny, just deciding to back up.
Yeah, huge bombs at the beginning of that. Got the kill early on the medic here, but big old counter bomb with a huge airshot as well coming out to get the frag onto Euthanasia. That makes things a lot better on in terms of even Uber now, instead of being rolled one way or another. Neutronus has different ideas, wants to just keep going, doesn't quite get rewarded for it. Martin stays alive, so stalemate for the moment. One player down shouldn't mean too much as long as you can hold mid confidently, but who knows if they are too aware of the positions they need to take here.
Yeah, and they are holding in lobby. Martin looking to push some space, DuMmTm, as there's quite a nice hold coming out of Lithuanian Rhapsody right now. They've got a lot of high ground, they're just pushing the players out. Right now they're just looking to equalize, as there is kind of a void for any Uber advantage. They're very close right now because of that. Muffin's just going to pick up his Uber charge, whilst Euthanasia not building as quick, but is going to pick it up, so it's going to be an equal Uber situation. And
Neutronus from behind just sneaked up from under and no one spotted it. Gets the medic Mishu jumping with it as well to just get the extra damage and getting a second pick onto Jenny on top of that.
1 second.
That is huge. They still get forced in on their way to second. Euthanasia needs to save himself as well. Barely staying alive here. They're still dropping 3 players in this, what ultimately was an Uber advantage push, but they take second fairly confidently as well. Skills already in on us. Gets a kin of the tantrum as well on top of that.
Yeah, Skills managing to pick up that frag, and now his team's got a little bit of an Uber advantage, but really nothing they can work off unless they build it out, and I think that's what Tuja is going to do. He's going to build that out with his team, but let's see what sort of last hold we got going out. Tantrum is going to come back. We've only got the sniper on Jenny. No other off classes right now, as they're probably thinking it is Uber ad situations, so really Lithuanian Rhapsody have the chance to go on to last, but they're going to have to get some sort of force play out, DuMmTm.
Yeah, and for both sides, so far there's both Spy. Jenny immediately spy checked, finds the spies on Pyro, just seeing what's around the corner. Not quite the right corner, but sooner or later, Neutronus won't be safe, and there we go. We'll get spotted fairly early on. And that's the power of spy checking. You just have it in your own hands to see it coming if you really put your mind to it. And they do just that, picking up the sniper rifle now to get something more done besides a single pick, which is nice and all, but it's oftentimes not enough to really get a good start into second. So sniper is to make some more headspace into lobby, into second happen. Same idea on Neutronus' end though, and this could end in a quick sniper fight.
And we're going to wait for Neutronus to get into a position, but right now they're going to be looking to take a shutter pop open, and Neutronus does take down Tantrum, but Jenny's still alive, so it could be counter-attack, but that does give an opportunity for Lithuanian Rhapsody to actually send in a player, maybe send in Miju or something, try and get some sort of force players. They are clearing sticks. It's looking to take a little bit of... Oh, Neutronus gets missed. That's another opportunity created. DuMmTm does bomb in, does get cleaned up. Now they're 2 players down. Even though Neutronus is down, they did lose 5 Baz as well, but they've come on this left-hand side. The bomb comes in. The Uber has been enforced. Muffin hasn't even used his yet, as he does start the exchange. Tuja going for a play onto point, not able to do so, with the blue players behind, trying to jump onto the sadly still Ubered combo. They're going to start cleaning up players as Skills and Muji did go down, and Lithuanian Rhapsody are going to have to back out. DuMmTm, nice strong hold coming out of Louis van Gaal's army.
Yeah, despite all the baits, they didn't crumble in that and didn't use the Uber early. Muffins could hold onto the Uber for a long time. They want to make this a push or happen. teamfortress dies so early. They just kind of want to bang immediately with a jump from behind by Tantrum, getting Euthanasia to Crater, doesn't even need to find a rocket.
Louis van Gaal, Jenny down, was trying to take a 1v1 with Tuja. Tuja is going to win that, and again, they're going back into lobby with Euthanasia down though. I didn't even see him go down there. Shows how much I pay attention, but 5Baz taking a fight on the left-hand side, creating, but look at how low DuMmTm these Lithuanian Rhapsody players are, and they managed to get Muffin! Woo! Miju going in, nice work from him, and they're just going to dry push this DuMmTm, and not really there. Skills is going to get taken down by Martin, and with Neutronus going down, Tuja creating the space, he's going to get cleaned up, and they just started feeding players one by one by one, and in the end, Louis van Gaal's, they can hold on to their last.
Yeah, they wanted a DM fight, but if you do take this decision, you need to be ready to live with the consequences if it goes wrong. And for the moment, this means an attempt by Louis van Gaal's army to take second here. Again, though, they want to just take the dry fight, not even wait for Ubers here. Yeah,
but they have lost 5Baz very early. And as Jenny does try and finish off this cap, he is getting spammed. He is going to get cleaned up, so there's a 2-player advantage for Lithuanian Rhapsody, but they have lost 5Baz, but they've just created it back to a 2 advantage with DuMmTm going down, and they're going to take lobby and hopefully push in. Martin looking to hold that in. There's only 3 players currently up. 5 seconds on their scouts. Bomb does come in from Tantrum. He does try and deal some damage into Euthanasia. Does not get the force, but whilst this is happening, Tuja picks up Muffin. They're baiting the point and missed. Sacrifices himself for his team, but that's going to be the first round of Metalworks going to Lithuanian Rhapsody.
Yeah, they didn't let this slow down at any point there for the last few minutes. Just keep on going and try over and over again until eventually something sticked, and didn't give them too much time to slow this to a stalemate again, and just made it really, really uncomfortable for the longest time. Didn't seem to favor these stalemates too much, even with the sniper on the field. They just wanted to immediately do something with it, and eventually it pays off, taking the lead.
And Lewis van Gaal's now coming in with a round disadvantage, DuMmTm, but on this mid fight, Martin doing a lot of damage onto Skills. Skills super low, whilst the rest of Lewis van Gaal's nice and healthy, pushing in, trying to deny Euthanasia coming out, but Skills does push himself out. Martin is going to go down, so that's their demo down. Muffin's trapped in against Muju. Muju is going to pick him up, and now it's going to be the sack plate for the med. Teamfortress does go in, but Euthanasia jukes really nicely, only going down to 75 HP. That's going to be a mid, again, to Lithuanian Rhapsody.
Much stronger one. This one as well, Euthanasia staying alive makes a huge difference to just cover a lot more space, a lot more effectively. Muffin's dying at the end of that makes this full Uber basically straight away by the time they're driving at second. And it's just a matter of time before this goes into last, so it's just on to Louis van Gaal's army now to see how they can defend this. And no major off plus is a sniper to try to make things a little bit easier with some surprise pick, but the NG comes out really, really late by mist, maybe even too late to build anything at all. By the time that happens, they already push up all the way to the left side coming in here.
Yeah, and they're going to take that Uber in, DuMmTm, get rid of that sentry gun very quickly. It wasn't even really set up, and they've started to bait point. There's going to be a response, but TuMmTm could not jump through the window. That's going to be another round to Lithuanian Rhapsody, or Praise the Sun, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah,
or team.
Effectively covering space there, coming on the left side, immediately jumping left, denying space. The rest of them place point and not letting Louis van Gaal's army have any room to breathe, and quick run from there on out, plain point, and no one could deny it.
Yeah, Lithuanian Rhapsody really showing quite a lot of prowess right now, with a nice 2-round lead coming into this mid, and Skills very far forward, tries to deal some damage, but Big Bomb comes out of Tantrum. He's taking that left hand side near their valley, but Muffin's going to go down to a nice push from Neutronis, and now again back into a bad situation for Louis van Gaal. They're going to have to try and scrap onto Euthanasia, and they did sorry, managed to get him, and they're all alive, only losing their med. Ooh.
Yeah, both teams with a similar idea, just try to get the soldier in position to pick up the medic, and it was just a matter of differently approaching that idea, where Lithuanian Rhapsody just brute forced their way in with 2 soldiers jumping the medic and getting that kill, but at the same time Tantrum and I think Scout as well just sneaked up from the backlines, got the kill and stayed alive for it, making the cleanup afterwards a lot more easier by split attention on top of not having heals on the other side. So execution well done here by Louis van Gaal's army, and maybe just enough to get them out of a little bit of a slump we've had so far. 10 minutes in, 2 down isn't great, and with Muffins also dying here, it's not like they have any advantage to last really to speak of, but they have mid, they have second, and now they have the time to figure out what to do into last year.
Now, my brain is very, very small and smooth, DuMmTm, but my mentality right now would be maybe look at doing some sort of banner play. Could be something that they could work on, build up that banner just so they've got some sort of hold against any sort of push that's going to come out of Lithuanian Rhapsody, but as they've not sent any players back to do so, I think is Jenny coming back, or is he, what's Jenny doing? Is he AFK?
Well, I mean, there's no better moment to be AFK than this, but no, Jenny is going sniper, in fact, for the moment. Picks up the rifle, much like Fight Burst on the other side, but on last right now, not really taking too many risks, just hoping something overextends his way with a sneaky gun under the bridge as well, being what they've chosen for the last out for the moment. So, as much as they played aggressive so far, they play safe when they need to, and the only really major aggressive play they have is a sniper and some aggressive traps.
Oh, Jenny straight onto Euthanasia, gets that drop. And that's creating an opportunity for Louis van Gaal. They're going to come in on this left-hand side. I think they're going to take the Uber straight in. TuMmTm getting denied. Really good work from the Lithuanian Rhapsody there. And with 5 bars on the sniper as well, it's something to take a risk of. But Jenny's not having any of it, as they have just gone through main. Juju gone around the side, but they have started bait point. But there's a sentry gun underneath the catwalk. He is going to get cleaned up, though, by Martin. And Martin's now a little bit overextended. Just get picked up. TuMmTm now has to just deal with Euthanasia. Nice, easy shot. And with Tuja going down, that's going to be a round for Louis van Gaal, bringing it to 2-1, DuMmTm.
Yeah, they were a bit surprised by the sneaky sentry, but he only lost one. They immediately took care of it and didn't manage to save the data for Lithuanian Rhapsody as much as they maybe hoped for. So surprise factor working out a little bit, but not quite enough. Nice quick reaction to not get completely just bothered by the sentry on the point. And turn that one around just in time, making it 2-1 like he said, making this a lot closer as we slowly approach halftime.
And on this mid, we're going to see some sort of setup as Martin is dealing a lot of damage to the players that just come out of Valley, but no real setup, no sort of soldier bomb coming out. Miju in a position to actually start something, and he is going to go straight onto Martin's, clean him up. But whilst that's happening, they have pushed across and got 5 bars, but now it's the place for Euthanasia, and big rockets coming out of Tantrum. He gets a nice 3k for his troubles, and actually that turned the mid fight around and made it Louis van Gaal's.
Yeah, every time Muffins died, they just immediately have the answer on how to at least still win. They just need to put those two things together, keeping the meta alive and then still winning on top of that. And suddenly they have these huge opportunities in front of them. As it stands, they win this with huge 3k, with nice timing there on Tantrum, but again, with no Uber, they again needs to be having some plays, and the sniper worked miracles last time. This time, however, spawns up faster. They already want to contest second, not even getting into this position in the first place.
Yeah, and there is a nice little strip, and the spy still just walks straight through. He's so low, but he manages to get behind, so he's just going to go get that pack and try for a play. So Louis van Gaal have to be aware of that, as they are spamming, focusing on the players, but Neutronis gets spotted out straight away by Mist, and he is going to get killed, and they're going to cap out this second. With that player going down, we're going to see a backpedal out of Lithuanian Rhapsody, DuMmTm.
Yeah, it's very close on the Ubers. Barely enough to make anything happen, but at this point it would have had to happen already. But that doesn't stop Louis van Gaal's army. They just go in off one pick.
Yeah, and sadly they weren't quick enough, and Euthanasia did get his Uber off, and DuMmTm is going to be the first to fall, but Miju is the trade. A little bit of bait onto point from Jenny, but he is going to go down. And with 2 players down, they are going to have to back out, or they're going to start bleeding players. And Martin very far forward, nearly actually got his med into a bad position as Skills pushes really nicely into lobby. And they're backed out onto second, but Lithuanian Rhapsody not holding out. Skills pushing forward, Martin getting knocked around. And they're looking to push onto that second DuMmTm. Neutronis is going to get cleaned up as well. But right now it's just fighting left and right. They do get 5 bars, and now the frags are on the side of Louis van Gaal's, and they're going to take this forward. They're going to dry push through Shutter. Tiju does go low, just going to get cleaned up. Miju backing up as well. Jenny maybe looking to start some time onto the point, gets instantly cleaned by Miju as soon as he steps onto that point, but they've pushed the players off really nicely, and oh, it's so close, and Martin finishes that up to bring it to 2-2 DuMmTm.
Yeah, nicely done. Just hoping people overextend, pick them up immediately onto second, and quick conversion from there. No time wasted into last at all. No scouts to deny anything. Tutor tries his hardest, but there's just so much a single soldier can do, and he barely wasted time at the end of that. And Louis van Gaal's army fighting back strong now.
Yeah, equalizing it at the halfway mark is a nice place to really be in, and it should bring them some confidence on this mid, but they should really be thinking how they're playing it, not letting their mid die from the big bombs from Miju every mid, as Tantrum does go in behind, looking for an opportunity. Now we're going to see Miju start his bomb onto Muffins, force him into that. As soon as you back into lobby as a med, you are just going to go down, and that's exactly what happens. But now it's just a DM fight with DuMmTm and Martin super low, backing out, and that's going to be a mid to Lithuanian Rhapsody again.
Yeah, DuMmTm still hiding, gets spotted eventually. He wants to just take matters into his own hands, tries his hardest, but gets spotted so quickly. Nothing coming out of that play. Euthanasia staying nice and healthy, taking mid, taking second possibly. A bit of trapping going on here on the second point, but for the moment, yeah, everybody seems to be aware, so no one falling for it yet. There's still one around the corner, and Tantrum as well, just trying his hardest. Euthanasia stuck in a really bad spot, takes fall damage as well, but not enough to
Whoa, 16 HP though.
It was a close one, but they still have the chance to last. They would have to deal with one less player, but still a heavy and the gun as well.
It's so, like, that lower lobby on mid is just a death trap for meds. If a soldier can get in behind you, you are in a really bad situation. But right now, push coming out of Lithuanian Rhapsody. They have pushed across, got that sentry gun, but the heavy does come in from Mist, doing a little bit of work, but there's so much time onto the point, they're not able to deny it. And once again, it's another round to Lithuanian Rhapsody. They need to be able to get onto the point a lot quicker than that, DuMmTm. Because as soon as they get pushed back by Lithuanian Rhapsody, Louis van Gaal's army just can't handle it.
Yeah, skills makes it really hard for them though. He's secured off both sides of the point extremely quickly, and everything approaching it just has a hard time getting past it unless they had commit high and jump, at which point he became just the easy target for everybody, especially the scouts.
And on this mid DuMmTm, we're going to see Martin a little bit earlier, but he's on that low ground trying to spam Muju, and the rest of the players trying to come out. Does do some damage onto Euthanasia, but Jenny's going to be the first to go. And Muju straight onto Muffins. Does clean him up nicely. Nice aggression out of him. And now, once again, Louis van Gaal's not in a good position at all to really fight this mid. They're trying to stay in. Martin wants to keep his team in to go for a play onto Euthanasia, but they do lose myths. Martin does fall as well, and DuMmTm, the only surviving player with Tuja actually behind him. I think he's going to be looking for some sort of sneaky play as he does jump around into lower lobby, but gets spotted out by Neutronis and does go down.
It finds slowly but surely become more and more convincing for Lithuanian Rhapsody, and it really shows getting so much mileage out of that. Again, big even the winning ones for Louis van Gaal's army will still involve Muffins dying, and if you lose the mid fight off the back of that, it's even worse. Now just another big Uber advantage push it to last straight away.
And they've gone for the under catwalk sentry gun again, but 5baz cleans that up very quickly, just straight onto the point. They're not able to deny it because of the worker skills. And once again, quick round from Lithuanian Rhapsody.
Yeah, and late sags as well on mid also mean that people are just up late for the last hold as well. No one really in position to hide anywhere, maybe get a force out, nobody able to really build a gun or anything. It's just at most the heavy, and that's so much easier to deny for the demo man to block the point of than either of the other ones, that it just really isn't enough to hold these last points anymore.
Really isn't, and again, I think Muffin's going to change his tactic on this mid and actually come up the left-hand side as DuMmTm does bomb in, doesn't manage to connect anything, and as Muffins goes down to Miju again, who just sneaks in into lower lobby, and it's an absolute massacre for Louis van Gaal as 5baz dealing with the last surviving player, which is Tantrum, but they have time to maybe get some semblance of a hold as they are going to be spawning in a very close time to each other.
Yeah, they will be spawning in time, and they will have plenty of time with Euthanasia dying, but that was really all it seems they wanted to accomplish on that mid-fight. Just get Euthanasia out of the equation. We might be winning those mid-fights, but at least we won't be pushed into last with Duet anymore. Is at least something positive going into this compared to the last few mid-fights, but I don't know if that's good enough to really turn this around quickly. They have 10 minutes, that's plenty time for 2 rounds, but working your way all the way out of last doesn't make it an easy task at all.
No, and Euthanasia does take a lot of damage actually, so this could be an opportunity for DuMmTm to go in. He has jumped in. I think he's going to try and do a bomb onto Euthanasia. It does pick up skills though, and with the second player down, still player ad for Louis van Gaal. They just have to watch for any players trying to go behind. As Tizzy does a nice little bomb from lower straight onto Muffins. Muffins solo, he's going to die from full damage. Oh, we got the air shot onto Tuja. Nice.
Well, that doesn't really change the situation much at all, or Euthanasia way out of their reserve.
But it was nice.
A single play changes whole position now from taking second to just a matter of time before they lose it again. Missed hiding already, people still forward. This time they don't want the Uber to be in last at all and try to force it seems. See what comes of the hiding place. Missed. Doesn't have the patience required to wait for the medic, just wants to get the demo kill, and that's not the right moment to go on.
And no, and sadly, once again, Louis van Gaal's are going to have to back out with 100% Uber disad, and they're going to have to try and hold up against this. How are they going to do it, Dan?
For the moment, he's just punching up and lobby, waiting for everybody to come up and try to commit collectively through the same doorway, but nobody's checking the stakes. One player down immediately, make that two on the flank as well.
Jenny needs to start blocking this as Neutronis does go in onto him, but Jenny, good work, does bully out Skills as well. Skills is trying to stay in, but he goes super low. Gonna get cleaned up by Mist, and they managed to hold it. Nice heavy work from Jenny there.
Yeah, the heavy this time, not denied at all. Losing these players early just meant so much less firepower for them. One down immediately and quickly into the duo as well. The flank got picked up. Tuya died fairly quickly, and Neutronis Spy is the playmaker here, trying to come back into a better position now. Needs to be quick though. Euthanasia almost has, Muffins already does, so I wouldn't believe with this little time left, Louis van Gaal's army want to get this going into another stalemate.
And Neutronis just like just, you know, hangs out with teamTM there, not even realised until the last second where he jumps off. He has been spotted out, so he's going to get cleaned up. And the Ubers have been exchanged on mid, and it looks a lot stronger for Lithuanian Rhapsody as they do pick up Martin, and now they're trying to fight the players that are currently in their mid lobby. And they're going to rotate onto this left-hand side, rejoin their team. Bombs do come in. teamTM trying to deal some damage onto Tuja, but he does stay alive. teamTM going down as well, and the players are starting to fall as Muffin is now very much trapped in. Tuja is going to come in from his lobby, and he just gets collapsed upon. And teamTM going to get, not even see Miju, going to get cleaned up. And again, Lithuanian Rhapsody seem very much in control right now, Dum.
Yeah, even despite the hiding players on mid post Uber, them losing Euthanasia quickly off of that is arguably a really big deal for Lithuanian Rhapsody, but everybody on Louis van Gaal's army wanted to just play quick off of it, which you can't blame them for too much on this deficit right now with this little time left, but they just wanted to keep playing off it after the sags onto the medic came in, and at that point they didn't have the players themselves anymore, so quickly turned around in a messy DM fight without the medic alive, and Scout and medic just got stuck on mid for Louis van Gaal's army. Quick kills to get for Lithuanian Rhapsody, turning it into a mid win yet again, into second pick for free on top of that, and 30% do into last. A lot of mileage covered off of just one little messy exchange on mid, and it's just a matter of time before they push off this.
It's very interesting right now as the Uber has come in on the left-hand side. They've not connected any frags, but teamTM is going to be skyrocketed. And that's actually a really good, because Skills kind of got distracted there, and it means that the rest of his team is actually going to get collapsed upon because he was too busy trying to get that air shot. And with Neutronis going down as well, that's a good hold once again from Louis van Gaal's.
Yeah, they're holding onto it, but the question is if that is enough. 7 minutes left, they need some movement into second, and they don't have the numbers for it. Just now, they take the risk anyway, and are just about faster than the rest of the Lithuanian Rhapsody. The question is, will this risk pay off still, as people are still committing? Martin takes a bunch of damage, it is already
no
pulled
one's
by
with
Scout.
Martin. No, he does get cleaned up, and the bomb comes in from Tuja. Muffin does get cleaned up as well as the collapse comes in from Lithuanian Rhapsody. teamTM taking a lot of damage before he even jumps in. Does take up Neutronis though, does go on to Euthanasia, but I feel like Euthanasia may have arrowed him. Nah, I think he arrowed Tuja. And again, they've got 100% add on to last. This is just, again, not a good situation for Louis van Gaal's. They've always been on the back foot.
Yeah, you can't blame them for taking these risks here at this point anymore either. They need some momentum, and they need it quickly, so risk needs to be taken, and as risk, well, sometimes they just don't pay off, as is evident here, and it just led to an even worse situation, leading into another last push here coming in any moment from the left side.
Yeah, they have used that Uber on the left-hand side. Double scout. We've got 5 bars going around the right-hand side, and then left side with Neutronis. But now they've gone on to the point, but Martin's denied it really, really nicely. As the collapse does come in from Louis van Gaal's, they start cleaning up players. Good focus calls from them. Cleaning up the players they needed to on the point, and now they're chasing the last surviving members, which is Miju and Euthanasia. Euthanasia does get popped up, and with Miju going down as well. Not before taking down Jenny, though. Good effort, good effort.
That was so strange though. Lithuanian Rhapsody rushed this so much. They had double scout on the Uber to just come in quickly, but they had nothing in that last point really besides that, so they tried to pay a point, but no one really was able to provide the damage for the scouts to do that. And suddenly it just all turned around. Euthanasia dying late, and this makes things even worse for them. And they might have just given the fuel to this potential comeback here.
But they are going to be pushing into Neutronis, and Neutronis needs to get a good angle, but I think he's been spotted out by Martin. And now Miju looking for an opportunity to maybe jump, but decides to back out. And teamTM going down as well, but there's going to be a Uber coming out, and they're trying to chase onto Euthanasia, but now they have Uber disad, and they're still going in. Big denial onto teamTM, and the jump's going to come in from Tuja. teamTM's super low, going to die from his own weight. And with Mist going down as well, Lithuanian Rhapsody handled that push onto them so cleanly.
Yeah, they were just out of there the moment they saw any danger, and that single scout chase was nowhere close to reaching the medic, so big waste, unfortunately, of an Uber advantage for Louis van Gaal's army, and big turnaround point yet again in this game is Lithuanian Rhapsody. You can just freely contest mid here. At best, sacks are coming in, but not even those are coming through denied early on.
Gets a nice double kill with his stickies there, Dum. That wasn't too bad, even though he does end up going down. That was a pretty good stick from him. Oh, sticks. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. DuMmTm on the right-hand side, being spammed out, looking to maybe bomb in, deny the players trying to come out of mid-lobby. And not able to do so. So I think they're going to bring themselves back into a second hold. And Martin maybe want to push in, show his face to Skills a little bit, DuMmTm.
Yeah, we'll see. Skills is trying his hardest to not have people show their face to him at all, though. Just sticks off everything. Not letting him through doesn't matter to actually see it out. They just pop through. They don't have time to waste. They take the exchange any way they can.
And with Martin actually in the background laying down sticks, this is not too bad. He has denied that Uber. 5Baz has got trapped in, but it's going to take down DuMmTm. He is going to go down, but it's a very bad positioning for Louis van Gaal's. Players have dropped down. Patronus and Miju have got in behind. They didn't manage to connect onto Martin, but they did kill some players. But Martin, again, trapped in, trying to deal with Tuja. Oh, manages to stay alive with the help of Mist. And they managed to deal with that push, but it was very scrappy. Nowhere near as strong as what Lithuanian Rhapsody have been showing us.
Yeah, the flanking round plays from the left side by Lithuanian Rhapsody got a lot done, but unfortunately that was really all they got done besides a single scout feed forward. They committed so many players to the flank, they were lacking on the combo, and it showed. They were losing the combo fight very severely, and only the flank plays really got anything done there, so maybe slightly wrong priorities, and again, it's just flank plays trying to do anything, and Miju hiding in the corner, gets spotted early, but Lithuanian Rhapsody knows what time it is. It's time to slow down the game.
Oh my god. Heavy on second on the Tronus, cleans up Martin. Martin not even part of that Uber, sadly. He does drop down though, but he may take someone else out, doesn't end up doing so. Now DuMmTm's in a bad situation, but nice rocket from him to exchange with 5Baz. Mist just walks in and takes down Euthanasia. Now 1v1ing onto Skills with Jenny there with the backup, and with Tusha, the only survivor they need to clean him up, get second, and they'll have last if they play this correctly. But Tusha not dying easily. But Jenny's going to pick up that second, but Tantrum is going to get spotted. Oh, nice direct onto the Tronus. Does clean up the Tronus. Euthanasia onto him as well. Everyone's in on him. Jenny now goes in, picks up the Pyro. Euthanasia, the only person left. The players go in, but Jenny gets it.
That is so important that they get this with this little PT as well. Even if it was Martin, that was still quick enough. If both Jenny and Martin died there, it would barely be even remotely possible to get another round here. But 1.5 minutes is enough. They need a much stronger mid fight out than they had before to make all of this effort they just went through worth it.
And actually, with 1 minute 25, if Louis van Gaal pulls something out of the bag on this mid, they'll have a really strong situation to be in. You know, they may be able to bring this to a golden cap, but it all depends on this mid, and Muffin already takes so much damage at the start, but the double bomb does come in onto Euthanasia. He does get picked up, but the players on the side of Louis van Gaal's do start falling, and Muffin is the only, I was about to say survivor, but that's going to be a wipe, and I feel like that snuffs out any opportunity for Louis van Gaal's to actually take this to a golden cap.
Yeah, this needs to be curtains, and again, just time and time again for Louis van Gaal's army. They have a strong offense on this map, but on the mid fight that is, but not on the defensive side on the mid. They struggle a lot more with that. Muffins keeps on getting jumped. People keep dying really early in positions where they can't afford to lose people yet because they're still prepping for the soldier jumps or something like that. And they just lose players too early, way too much on these mid fights. It really goes to show that having a mid fight where not only you can kill their medic but also stay alive at the end of that is hugely important.
Tuja was actually trying to stay behind, maybe throwing some spawners into the works during this end game. But with 14 seconds left, congratulations to the first map for Lithuanian Rhapsody. We are going to be going to the second, which is Kalinka.
Yes, it should be Kalinka's second and then Mist as the decider if it comes down to it.
We will see, but congratulations, commiserations to Louis van Gaal's, but they are not out of this final just yet, and they will be bringing it onto the second map. But all in all, you know, it's the scoreline. The scoreline kind of shows what it is. There's a lot of little mistakes here and there, but I do feel like Lithuanian Rhapsody have some very good plays in their bag on this map in particular. Muju being a standout player for some of the bombs he's been doing during the entire game have just been very impactful.
Yeah, and in general, in the transition plates, I think Rhapsody had some nice coordination between combo and flank. Maybe a bit too flank heavy at times, but either way, they generally knew what they were doing on the map, and it really goes to show that that goes a long way to just distract players effectively on one end of the map and capitalize on it on the other side.
Yeah, and shall we have a look at the numbers? I know people love those things, so shall we have a look at them?
Sure, why not? I mean, we're just waiting for the map to change, so might as well, I guess, right?
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's just check the most important number, which is 8 on the side of Tuja with 8 air shots. I feel like it's a little unfair on Muffins because he should at least have 1 for that air shot he did earlier with with his syringe gun, not syringe gun, his arrows. But the Crusader's crossbow ringing true. But apart from that, big damage coming out of skills. But Martin not far behind him on damage. Just if it felt like both teams were able to capitalize on the damage of their demos, and good work from both Mist and Natronus on that front, DuMmTm.
Yeah, what is, I guess, at least in comparison to last game, important to mention here. I don't know if you saw that, if you were here already for that, but it was Mist the map they last played, the Dutchies that is, against the Finns, and because of how the map is laid out and how messy it is, and just flank heavy and constant rotations and stuff like that, it ended up being roughly 20% heals for every single class on the field for them. And I had the high hopes that is not actually what they want to do, and just kind of were forced to do. It's still fairly high percentage on heals on the flank with 14 and 15, but it certainly is a big difference compared to that. Mist being just a beam scout supreme here, it seems on the server, 27% heals, where the next highest would be skilled with 41, which is actually higher, never mind. But point is that he's the highest heal scout on the server, and it also shows in damage taken, leading the fights all the time, with the highest damage taken on anything on a red team. Skills obviously for his team as the tank demo with 41%, you would expect that to be the case.
Yeah, no, yeah, something actually that I do agree with is, like, when I said about Miju, he does have 8 med kills, so very impactful at the start of those mid fights. We saw that he was just constantly getting behind, and on Kalinka, there is opportunities to do exactly that, so I feel like he may be able to do so. Just let's have a look at the map and do some theory crafting for soldier bombs right now, DuMmTm.
Speaking of soldier bombs, I mean, I mentioned it before. Just the last point I want to have regarding logs is that almost half the deaths Muffins had was on mids, and that's just like a huge deficit straight away. Euthanasia survived some. Sure, they put a lot of effort into killing him still, but he survived much more mids than Muffins did. And for a game this close, 15 to 12 isn't the biggest difference, but considering how much of it purely comes from the mid fights alone, that is a big issue that needs to be addressed on, and we'll see how this continues on as a trend for the next map.
My question is, out of the big warehouses, that little sloped roof, can players stand on that? The one that's above the 2 chokes? Is that somewhere players can stand on? Where there's that catwalk or balcony?
I'm not sure actually. It doesn't look like something you can stand on. Then again, on second, there's an area that also looks like you could jump over it and you can't, so who knows?
Can a player confirm that for me? Just in pre-game, if any of them are sneakily watching in. But no, that would be quite a devastating. Oh no, you can't. Mist just got pushed onto it, pushed near it, so you can't be on there. So it's more. I guess it's going to more be big bombs and taking control of all of that upper area of the broken down shack as well as the lower. But we are going to be coming into this second map, DuMmTm, which is Kalinka, of our Season 33 Preseason map cup between Louis van Gaal and Hands Up, or as I'm going to call them, Lithuanian Rhapsody. First map was Metalworks going to Lithuanian Rhapsody. I'm joined by DuMmTm, and we're coming into this first mid, and Miju comes in with a very big bomb, followed by Tuja. There's a lot of pressure coming out on Lithuanian Rhapsody, but Tantrum trying to put some work, get some frags, not able to do so, but with nothing down, it's creating an opportunity for Lithuanian Rhapsody once again.
Lithuanian Rhapsody just with this hugely aggressive left side push straight into the combo, hoping to meet as much resistance as possible, to kill as much of them as possible. Not quite over yet, with 2 down right now. They're lacking a few plays here in this post-meta fight, and everybody on Rick constantly just commits for Euthanasia, and it seems to be working. Getting the kills out just in time.
Get the force! They got the force as well, which is nice. So they have removed that Uber, so Euthanasia might as well died, because Muffins is going to be able to get a little bit of 20% add. So if they build that out and really focus on that, I know Muffin isn't Seeds, but if they try and do that, but I don't think Skills and the rest of his team are going to give them the opportunity. Tantrum just tried to bomb across, not able to get over the hangar area as Tantrum does go down. Skills getting picked up as a trade, but 2 players in the advantage. But Muffins, why does he come out? That makes
Jenny
no
was with
sense.
that, but Jenny was so far ahead already. The match just got kind of stuck alone, where Jenny just leads into still arguably not a very favorable fight. And it just ends in this massive feed, I would almost say, where they just were really disconnected from the heals and each other for that matter, and just no good collective damage coming out at all. They get 1 kill, and that is about it for the Gaal's army, and now it's huge advantage into last. They barely have time to even assemble any good last hold here. No off classes up just yet. Just desperately trying to build to have any sort of close Uber situation, but that's even still not happening.
Yeah, this is really interesting with the map. This cap point looks really, really cool, but Tantrum is actually going to go in onto Euthanasia, trying to get him at the end of that Uber, but he is going to end up going down. Mist going down as well, and you know what? It's looking very strong for Lithuanian Rhapsody right now. They just need to put the last people on the point, and that's the first round. Going to go to Lithuanian Rhapsody. I'm just going to give you a quick hot take on this map. It's very pretty, but even though I do kind of like it, one thing I don't like is the fact there's so many things that you feel like you should be able to rocket jump over, but you just can't. I don't like that in maps personally.
You know,
do the sunshine thing. Just make a massive tower that you can't go over. Like, people aren't going to get mad then. You feel me?
Yeah, if it's visible, then you wouldn't expect it to be that way, you know? Or you would expect it to be not jumpable. But yeah, I can see your point. Either way, mid-fight happens. Huge air shot coming out already. 2-for-2 trade straight away. This time the left side thing not working too well. They're getting boxed back a lot more on the Lithuanian Rhapsody.
And no meds have actually gone down, so it's still quite an even fight. It could be anyone's mid-fight, and it looks like Lithuanian Rhapsody are going to give it up. But, oh god, Mist just chased 5-Bab. Two shots him. Woo. Beautiful.
Yeah, much stronger mid-fight here, just fighting back straight away, not letting themselves be boxed back, but are the ones that are throwing the damage in themselves to get people out of the mid-fight, and it works really well. Still contestation on second though.
Yeah, and the Uber has gone in. Martin's a little bit separated, but luckily the Uber was flashing him on the right time to save his life. And they're looking to see if they can go on. Pipe goes on to Tuja, but they can't really connect anything else. Mist going in a bit too deep for the demo. Does end up going down, and Martin going to get chased on by 5-Baz. And just scrappy fights left, right, and centre right now on this second fight. But Lithuanian Rhapsody are not giving it up. Miju up onto that little lip, dealing damage onto the point. And Louis van Gaal's super low with their health. Jenny getting pressured by 5-Baz. Does manage to clean him up, but has completely once again separated from Muffins. And he has gone down in an exchange between Mr. Muju once again. It's going to mean that Lithuanian Rhapsody get back into Uber advantage.
Yeah, it's not surprising that Lithuanian Rhapsody plays as aggressive as they did. We've seen the same thing on the last map. Hiding spot by Tantrum just further proves the point that I'm trying to make, which is that this time Louis van Gaal's army also wants to press the issue forward a lot more than before, but they're not doing it collectively enough. It's just these single feeds, and eventually one of them succeeds, but not until after they already lost all the players before that, and lost mid, lost the medic as well. On top of that, the force comes out really, really late, and at least it still happens, but at the huge cop of losing second, losing mid, and I don't know if that's good enough.
What? Muffins! I didn't even... Did he just... Oh, did he overextend again? It feels like because there's so... Oh, it was a sticky trap. It feels like there's such a mess going on that it's very hard for anyone to remain coordinated. Skills is having a fight with Martin, whilst TuMMTm's around on the left-hand side trying to get onto Euthanasia, but he does get called out. Going to get cleaned up as well. Yeah. So much going on that... I feel like Louis van Gaal needs to get a bit more organisation behind them, as Lithuanian Rhapsody individually have very strong DM as well. Like Miju either wins a 1v1 or he trades. He doesn't seem to just go down without a decent fight.
Yeah, and it just keeps them in the advantage position right now. It might even devolve into messy fights every once in a while, but at the end of it, Lithuanian Rhapsody still comes out on top in some fashion, even if it's not hugely the biggest advantage as it is right now. 30% is nice, but it's not the biggest advantage you could possibly have here, and be confident into taking a fight in second whip. They still might just consider it though.
Yeah, they are, and they're going to be going in. They want to maybe get an exchange going. Really, it's strange. You can't jump over that wall on the right to them. So the Ubers have been exchanged and Martin is behind. He's just going to kind of bounce off stuff and try and join Muffins. Muffins super low, does get knocked away, but Martin is trapped in. Going to get cleaned up by 5 bars. Whilst that's happening, Mist does get some frags. But not, well, tried to get a frag. Did manage to connect it actually. I thought he was going to get that. And again, so scrappy players are dropping down. So much scrappy fights left, right, and center. And Lithuanian Rhapsody are just going to live in that pool of DM and come out on top.
Yeah, the slightly earlier Uber that they forced out of Muffins just meant so much more at the end of that. Just taking space more confidently with the invincibility and be able to just force them back early on, and everybody who didn't get picked up off the back of that 40% now into last is even more than they had to begin with into second in terms of advantage. And again, not much of a hold here, everybody just trying to hold back on the top area. And last time that didn't go well, they took all the same damage. It took a while for the kills to come in. The focus fire maybe wasn't the best, but damage still hit people across the board and got everybody weak on the top area.
And as they tried to come in on the right hand side, DuMmTm and Tantrum deal so much damage that they managed to not only get the demo but get the force in lobby. And with 5 bars going down to Martin as well, and Jenny on that pyro denying Miju, it's going to be a backpedal coming out of Lithuanian Rhapsody as Louis van Gaal are going to be able to push forward DuMmTm. Neutronas and Chuja are behind though, and Tantrum's the only player he's going to get denied, but they're not quick enough on it. Even though they win that, they do have 2 players behind. One's down, and it does mean that Louis van Gaal are going to push forward with this Uber straight onto them. DuMmTm killing skills just then, and they're still trying to do the back cap.
Yeah, that might just be the split of attention that Lithuanian Rhapsody needs. Maju tries to jump out of the top area, but the pyro is still there. The nice things get air blast as well as the back cap getting blocked, and that might just be enough here to at least secure mid for the moment. People weak, scouts barely escaping with their life. The backhand play was a nice idea, but they just weren't ready to really act of it together, and suddenly they just are the ones being picked up one by one instead, where previously that was Louis van Gaal's issue. Big turnaround moment possibly for them. It's still even Ubers, but they covered the entire map so far to get back into Lithuanian Rhapsody's last, and they just need a strong answer now to make this a tie.
Yeah, and there's so many angles to come in to last on this, and they're going to take their right hand side, slowly push their way in, but Spam is going to come in and they're going to rethink how they're going to do this. There's a few opportunities. What's your theory crafting brain got for pushing last on this DuMmTm?
It's kind of similar to most last, I would say. Either far left or far right. Middle is obviously low ground and not desired, so they try to take it from left in this case, but being met with Uber Exchange doesn't end too well. They get 5 bars. Muffins getting kind of stuck on geometry, will be taken down. Makes it a lot more of a sketchy fight now where they don't have heals.
And oh god, Neutronas gets a 3k with his sentry gun. And with DuMmTm and Tantrum the only survivors, they're going to have to back out once again. And Lithuanian Rhapsody hold on to their last, keep that 1 round advantage. With DuMmTm going down and Neutronas going down in the extension, that is still not going to be good. And I don't see how Louis van Gaal really can bring anything to this second, but they're going to do it. They're going to bring some contention as they do start pushing across, as it nearly was capped out. Pushing those players in. Muju actually going to come up, not being able to spam on anyone. And you know what? Nice pressure from Louis van Gaal's there.
Yeah, and it also means a whole lot in the context of the Uber situation. They have this advantage here, being the ones that have to go back to mid instead of being the ones defending second here. Off of the Uber, this means a lot. Now, this Uber has to be used out of last, which, even if it happens, at best gets them second, and arguably could just not actually be a play that Lithuanian Rhapsody decides to go for. It's the last point. It's always fairly risky to try to go for it, and by the looks of it, this is exactly what happened. So this just didn't just save second, it might as well have saved them being able to keep playing into last. On top of that, DuMmTm already on Spy, just ready for the stalemate situation. Same with Tuya, though, has a battalion's backup ready to be built, needs 600 damage, probably quite a bit away from it still, and it's just a matter of time before either the banner or the Spy will come into play here.
Yeah, but DuMmTm actually manages to sneak in on the Spy class in the background, and he's near the Tesla coil. And he's just waiting for an opportunity to decloak, but he's also giving a lot of information to his team, so they know where the sentry gun is, they know where the med's holding, they know, more importantly, where the dispenser is, as Martin actually goes down to Miju with what seems like spam onto him, as he did push a little bit too far on the left hand side, and Skills is going to take it on their right, push through onto second. A lot of damage coming out of Lithuanian Rhapsody, but they're going to have to use. Ubers have been exchanged. Now it's about the post-Uber fight, DuMmTm. And right now, no one's really winning, but with the play from DuMmTm on the spy onto last, it's going to cause a lot of players to go back. He also sat the sentry gun, so creating an opportunity for his team.
Yeah, maybe they can play off that. There's still 5 versus 5 here in this current 5-5, but very overextended. And Martin finds a miracle pipe onto the medic in the midst of that. They were still trying to hold close. Point play by Jenny as well at the same time, draws everybody back. Huge opportunity to play with Tantrum, just jumps the point and no one's there to block it. Incredibly well done there off of, like, the Uber exchange was slightly better. I think Tuya was the one trying to jump in for the force on the right side. Got it, but didn't get flashed in time. So he got dropped 1 down in the Uber exchange. The spy, sorry, opened up last really well, and then 1 more jump behind, finish everything off without even killing those last 3 players, just jumping past them. If they would block that point, they would have to die, and really well done there by Louis van Gaal's army.
Yeah, they've done a good job, and they're coming into this third mid, and Neutronis in that lower ground a lot quicker out of Lithuanian Rhapsody. It looks more like they're holding it than necessarily actually having a mid fight, but Neutronis goes in on the background, does pick up Martin. DuMmTm missed, also go down, and with their 4th player down on the side of Louis van Gaal's army, Muffin's just going to have to run for his life, as 5-Baz does deal a little bit of damage with the Jenny behind as well. Hits his head. Well, he is going to get out though, but they've lost second as well. Ubers are not fully in advantage though for Lithuanian Rhapsody, which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
It gives them a chance for sure, other than trying to push immediately, quickly, and kill Muffins immediately. It all has to happen really, really fast, and they take their chances.
Yeah, and the deny has come in, but the run straight onto Muffins. He's been trapped up, but they're not quick enough. The Uber has been popped up. Skill's going to go down. Euthanasia trapped in as well, and they're going to hold on to their last. And now they've got to look to go into their lobby and clean up players as everyone is so low. Mizu taking a lot of damage, does end up getting shot by a nice rocket, sitting him down from DuMmTm there, as they do also clean up the Tronus and get onto their second DuMmTm.
Yeah, Lithuanian Rhapsody took a risk with that Uber, and it did not pay off at all. Muffins just barely got in time, but the moment the Uber was there, it just deleted everything in front of them, and a consequent push out of last with the rest of the players that were alive after that means mid is now up for contestation.
And because of that...
Oh, Tuya from the backline, so immediately gets the medic. That is huge. And Jenny again on the pyro, trying to play the slow for the rest of this team, not even switching off here, just denying damage, but with no medic to deny. They need to press the issue forward now.
But they are surrounded by Louis van Gaal players, well, 2 of them, and not able to connect onto him. Euthanasia is staying alive in a very sticky situation. Now Mizu trying to get onto Mist, not able to connect it, is going to go down, but Tantrum, again, another play, does get the force, and that's going to be detrimental to making sure that they're not going to get a full Uber ad onto their last.
Yeah, that is always a huge play to have here. It just saves you so much trouble potentially, and makes everything so much safer for you going forward. Mist still having trouble himself there, gets taken down in the lobby area between mid and second. This 1 more player down makes this hold a lot more uncomfortable. It is slight advantage Muffins with this Saki at the end, but they keep overextending.
And that overextension is going to punish them. Losing their demo Martin means that they are going to have to try and get onto Euthanasia or create something to slow them down, but DuMmTm going down, not going to be the case. Now Tantrum lost all of their spam on their side. Mist and Jenny doing the right thing, backing up. They have got Uber at those. They are going to have Uber for their last hold, DuMmTm.
Yeah, they can defend this, but they need to defend it well, because they won't have the players, and they get forced fairly early. Want to use it aggressively, thinking Euthanasia might be closer, but that's not the case at all. You get the demo, that's a decent pick to have. Getting some mileage out of that one, maybe they're trying to, but they need to be careful. Euthanasia closing in an Uber now, and they already are dropping players with Mizu from the backlines as well, picking them up really easily, and suddenly it's just even worse than it previously was.
The problem with Louis van Gaal's pushes is, even though they're very committed, they do tend to get a little bit too far forward, and they are getting punished for those plays. Martin arguably shouldn't have gone as far as he did. He got knocked down to the side, and that's going to bring the score to 2-1 to Lithuanian Rhapsody.
Yeah, Louis van Gaal's army needs much stronger mids. They struggle so much on these mid spies so far, in both maps for that matter. And right now they just can't take space. You mentioned it, it looks like they're trying to hold it, and at the back end of that it just means that they don't have any space at all and they just get forced back really easily.
But on this fourth mid, Skills gonna get cleaned up by Jenny in the lower ground, and a little bit more presence from Louis van Gaal, but cleaning out, pushing out Lithuanian Rhapsody. They're very slow to their mids.
Yeah, and it just about worked out, like you mentioned, one single rogue scout under the point and one bomb that didn't go well decides it in their favor this time, but again they really didn't cover space well, and safer plays by Lithuanian Rhapsody could prevent this from even working in the slightest really easily, so it is a success for now. But if they want to win this, they need at minimum one more successful mid-fight, and I feel like this can't keep going like this if they want to have good chances out of a mid-fight. Either way, it didn't kill Euthanasia, so speaking of good chances, they are struggling to have one at last for the moment. Will need to play the stalemate out to find any sort of situation where they can force Euthanasia out.
I want to ban a DuMmTm. Give me a spy instead. Alright. Is he checking for...
Well, so far he's checking. Never mind, just switching around. Undecisive. Goes with the spy instead of playing sniper, which he did for a hot second. So the invisible man it is for the moment. On both sides, they bump into each other.
Oh, hi there. Hello there.
This is...
They just had a... What is going on?
That's just a Spider-Man pointing meme, but with spies that are invisible.
Oh, that was beautiful. They just slapped each other, a little chest bump, and decides to back out. But Martin picking up the dispenser, creating an opportunity for them to push, and they should definitely take it straight into those traps. But they decide not to do so, and that's a good decision. I'm dumb, but no, you are. But you get what I mean.
Yeah, the spy comes in for the sap, and the immediate push with that comes in. One player gets drop off the back of that, still gets the exchange, but 3 down immediately after the distraction.
And a scrappy fight after the Uber exchanges, but Tantrum bombing in, get exchanged with Tuja. The healer is down, and that's going to bring it to 2-2. Louis van Gaal's nice push in. They got the dispenser down, and they knew what to do.
Yeah, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. Spy was known, so going for a stab is risky. Just get the safe thing, which is a sap on the gun, and have the flank push in with the combo at the same time. Walking over people distracted, they want to deal with the spy, while the combo takes out one player by surprise and gets the exchange. And suddenly entry down can't save the gun anymore, that's down safely, as well as one entry pick on the combo. Just too much to deal with in too little time.
And we do have 10 minutes left of time right now, so it could be anyone's map. And Miju is going to go down, the Tronus going down as well, creates a 2-player advantage for Louis van Gaal on this midpoint, and they're looking to use that with Tantrum in behind as well. Does manage to get Euthanasia, so this is absolutely perfect, and we may see the first time during this grand final where Louis van Gaal are actually in the lead if they can cap this up. Skills is a little bit caught in, but he's going to end up going down. 5baz is super low as well, he's going to get cleaned up, and with that second cap going to create a beautiful opportunity for Louis van Gaal to go forward.
Yeah, possibly one of the strongest mid fights they had, except for I think one on Metalworks, and definitely the strongest one they had on this map so far, so just the right moment to still have an easy chance at comeback, coming in all the way into last Euthanasia, not having anybody to respond with, everybody going deep road.
Yeah, and the sentry gun is going to get cleaned up by Martin, but the bomb comes in from Muju, and he hands on that little bit of plexiglass, spamming down onto them, and the Tronus does come in. He's going to get spammed out though. And again, no play for the point right now, DuMmTm. They're overstaying their welcome. Muju does end up going down, but Tantrum does not trade with that, and the Tronus going down as well. Good DM coming out of Louis van Gaal, proving me wrong as they collapse and get it to 3-2, the first time they've been in the lead for this final.
Yeah, sketchy one, and they took a while to kill people. The UA didn't really do much. They forced people back, got them space, but they didn't get any kills, and the moment the counter jumps came in, it was looking really dire. The bombs dealt so much damage on the people on high ground. But if I learned anything from the semi-finals against the Finns that they played, is that these scouts don't lose fights with heavies, and it continues on winning that fight there with, I think Neutronus was the one on the low ground just waiting for something to come his way and meets his end to one of the scouts again.
Yeah, and on this 6th mid, we're going to see Tantrum and DuMmTm bombing across, but Muji just going to go straight onto Muffins, clean him up, but Jenny walks onto Euthanasia, so meds are out of the picture, so it is the post-med death DM fight, and skills are super low, but Natronus with the cleanup. Tuju does go down, but Natronus, nice and healthy, is going to go for the 1v1 and is going to win that. And that's going to be a scrappy mid-fight to Lithuanian Rhapsody.
We really need a better term for the post-MedDev DM fight, because it happens so frequently. It's something we constantly have to refer to, and everybody knows what it is, but there needs to be a better word.
You gotta tell the people what's going on.
I mean, maybe, but, you know, something can just have a nice short word to describe it with, and
Medeth.
that's definitely not short at all. Either way, like you said, everybody knows what's going on, which is Matt did die, everybody just tries to get the most of it, and for the moment, that is Lithuanian Rhapsody. However, Asia tries to be a sneaky one out here and picks up the crit streak to make the most out of an otherwise even situation.
Are you saying I'm stating the obvious? Hello?
I mean,
isn't that my job?
Either way, Asia closing in has now not optimal coming out though. Muffin's on 90 already, so this doesn't not just rely on advantage now anymore, but solely on the surprise factor. And it didn't work out.
Crits! Oh, and he gets a third with it. Big crits coming out of skills. Was that a 4K? That was a 4K with crits. Good work from him. Big nut in chat. As they're going to push in onto the lower side. They're going to go straight onto the point. Bring it to 3-3. Jenny concentrating on the player, not on the point. And as a result, he's end up going down. And that's going to make it 3-3.
Comeback, yeah. For how short-lived this lead was for Louis van Gaal, we immediately goes back to even. See if they can keep up the mid-fights though. They had a good one just now, but overall so far in the series, they struggled with it quite a bit.
Yeah, they really have. And on the 7th mid, we're going to see... I'm really interested to see how the soldiers are going to play out on the side of Louis van Gaal. Muju usually sets himself up in a good position, but Muffin's coming out a weird way, then changing his mind, not really healing his players, as Muju just goes straight in, goes straight onto Muffins. Muffin's super low, but manages to stay alive, but Muju is still behind, and they have lost Tantrum and Jenny, and that's probably going to mean Muffins is going to go down to Tuja in their mid-lobby. And with Mist having to back out, that's going to be a mid for Lithuanian Rhapsody. And for some reason, Mist wants to hug a rocket.
DuMmTm still blocking mid now is the silver lining here. After this severe lack of commitment on the mid fight, he's the only one really stopping anything right now. And he's wasting valuable time when it comes to the EU advantage. But again, they just kind of aren't committed to going anywhere on these mid fights. And the soldiers are just beautifully taking advantage of it just now. Just boxing him in this little area on the left side, and anyone who dares try to stay there will just get completely taken out.
Tantrum is in though on Lithuania. Oh, Lithuania Rhapsody handled that so well. He was going to go on Euthanasia, but didn't really connect it. Missed his rocket, bless him. And again, Lithuania Rhapsody looking nice and strong with this Uber advantage, but there is a full sentry gun up for Jenny, and it's going to be very far forward. So if they don't spot that straight away and overcommit, no, it could be good, but Natronus spots it straight out, dealing a little bit of damage, so they are aware, but the sentry gun is going to try and put some work onto this Uber, but it's going to get cleaned up. As the Uber has come in from the left-hand side, they're just going to walk up onto Muffins. Muffin's going to get cleaned up. Missed as well, now suspended into the air. They're baiting point with 5 bars. The sentry is down, and the pyro is up. And Jenny trying to put in some work on the WM1. Doesn't manage to help his team, and that's going to be skills going down and a wipe on their last, but by the skin of their teeth.
Really close the M fight here, and Muffins did die really early on, which might actually be better than dying late at this point. Having 15% ad, about not much at all, but it's given the time limit here, much better than being on the back foot any more than they already are, with only being on second right now, not all the way on the mid. Neutronus picking up the spy for the moment, getting all the way in already, taking damage already, so they might be aware.
Yeah, it was a an over 8 sticky debt, so it wasn't a conscious amount of damage coming out of mine. I don't know if that does that trigger a hit sound blip. No, it doesn't.
Either
so
way,
he wouldn't be aware.
The
completely scuffs it. Tries to do an Assassin's Creed and realizes he's in the wrong game, and does get cleaned up.
Either way, there was at least an attempt at follow-up damage. Meju spammed from the shutter door, but there was just nothing really to splash on. Missed the rockets onto Muffins, so barely staying alive here, and 4 minutes left. Is about that time where any round could just decide it immediately, or it could go to a golden cap. Either way, anything that happens now matters so much more.
And again, equal Uber situations, no off classes, apart from the Tronus. Never mind, there's a sniper, and he's currently in their mid lobby, seeing if he can maybe, you know, a pick onto Martin would be, you know, absolutely perfect right now, as this right hand side, it's going to create, oh, the Tronus takes so much damage though, he's going to end up getting cleaned up, and DuMmTm's going to use that opportunity to try and push into them, but Tantrum is all on his own in flank. He may be a pick, but Muju is in the exact same situation, so he's not going to get picked up. And they're just having this fight in mid-house right now as Tantrum does go down. And creates a player in there. Yeah, he does try, but Muju now trying to do a play, but doesn't manage to land where he wanted to. Does get cleaned up, and they've sent in their sacks, but there's a lot of low players on the side of Louis van Gaals that are not in a very healthy situation right now. DuMmTm.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like any sort of great aggression comes out of it. They're still peeking a bit on both sides here, but with one down, Maju just now spawning. Doesn't look like the Lithuanian Rhapsody take much of a risk. Besides, eventually, Neutronas just finds himself straight in front of Martin yet again. Gets the easy demo pick, and that could mean a lot. Maju on Spy already for playmate play that might not be necessary, might hinder them at all. And at this point, it's just going to be an exchange in Euthanasia using super late in it as well.
Yeah, that's really good milk from them, and they may be able to use some stickies to trap out the shutter. They don't manage to connect, but it looks like 5baz wanted to chase, but Mist is already there to try and deal with it, as players from the side of Louis van Gaals are trying to attack from every angle. They do get the demo, which is a good pick. Doesn't mean they can push on, and they do get Euthanasia as well, and the bomb comes in from DuMmTm, cleaning the last player. 5baz gonna take down Jenny and DuMmTm, but he is low. He's gonna have to backpedal out, as Martin and Muffins have come into second. But oh, 5baz maybe going for a back cap play. Oh no, just go straight onto Muffins! No, that's Martin!
They had the right call for not trying to fight second and going back to play it safe, but Martin just left Medic alone yet again. It happens way too many times in Louis van Gaal's army this game, and this time it might just be the worst possible moment. So little time left, and suddenly it's a big Uber advantage for the Louis van Gaal's, not for Louis van Gaal's army, for Lithuanian Rhapsody into last. They had the right call, they just executed it in the wrong fashion, and Matt alone in lobby is not what you want to see.
Yeah, it's really not, and with only 1 minute 15 left and Uber advantage for Lithuanian Rhapsody, they've got to just try and cap this out at the last second. We do see a heavy on Jenny up on that high area of the Tesla coil, and yeah, that's also a sentry on Mist in lower, so they've got a lot to go through, and they're going to use their Uber in the right on the left hand side, try and push across. They do clean up Jenny. They've got a good opportunity to cap this out with 46 seconds left. It's all to play to cap this out and be the finals of the preseason map cup, and they may be able to do it, DuMmTm, but they have lost a lot of players. Only 2 left. It's a 2v2 with skills, and Euthanasia versus DuMmTm and Martin. Euthanasia just go down, and oh, they managed to hold it out, and that's going to be a golden cap.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still 20 seconds left. There might just be a backup, but they are well that they 1 second over and cap to their side, and it's not the first time this happened. This is the second time where they just didn't get enough kills on the Uber on the blue side here on Lithuanian Rhapsody, and it just turns into this post-Uber fight that eventually just goes the red team's way because they just didn't get anything on the Uber. The heavy was the only casualty, and it took them forever to take him down in the first place. Muffin somehow just barely managed to get it to spawn, and those heals matter a lot at some point.
Yeah, and very much down to the wire on this golden cap. Like, there was a real good opportunity for Lithuanian Rhapsody to cap this out. Now, depending on how quickly they're gonna go forward with this, will we be able to have a quick, brief look at the logs, or shall we? Oh no, they're going. They're ready to go. So let's get a quick prediction from you on this golden cap. Who do you feel is going to win it? It's the 15-minute one with obviously the 1 cap limit. Who do you think is going to win, DuMmTm?
Fury of mid, it has to be Lithuanian Rhapsody, but I'm not so sure. They struggle on these last so much that maybe Lithuanian can fight their way back, but let's see how the mid fight works out in the first place here.
Martin looking a bit quicker than Skills, actually, in a good position to deal some spam onto the players as they do come in on the left hand side. And now it's all down to how the soldiers are going to start this off. Mist trying to take that high ground, but Muji's going to go in onto Muffins, and the absolute collapse coming out of Lithuanian Rhapsody. Tantrum, though, manages to get euthanasia. So not perfect mid-fight, but still a good one. And with the chase onto Jenny, I think Miju just wants to try and make this into a wipe, but he's overextended for his troubles. But he's not going to get cleaned up. Jenny's super low on 50 HP, and they're going to get their second. Now they're going to have to try and win out this uber equal situation.
Yeah, it's exactly what I feared would happen to DuMmTm. He would just a complete disaster on mid, just getting forced back immediately and just completely mulched on the left side by the incoming soldiers. And at the back out of that, at least they got the medic, which makes this a lot safer. But at this point, they mostly just have to rely on, again, this little bit of clutch back that they have so far on these last points to just miraculously hold on to stuff that they really shouldn't be able to. This time it's a lot more forgiving. It is an even uber situation. But either way, it's gonna be a tough one to claw your way back from your last back to theirs, and they do have half a map time to do just that, but it's not gonna be any easier in the golden cap now.
No, it's not. And you know what? Muffin's got his Uber a little bit earlier than Euthanasia. Nothing they can use, but he has been building a little bit more consistently. And with no off classes on the side of Lithuanian Rhapsody, are they just gonna try and they're gonna try and get Miju in for a force? He just gets completely denied though. They had no information as to where the med was, and sadly he was as far away as possible from Miju. Oh, Tantrum going in for a play, not able to connect it though, but they're trying to take control of lobby, not able to really capitalize on that situation. And the Tronus, little bit of a feed arguably.
It's not too huge loss, so barely waste some time, and with another trade coming out on the sidelines here, it is not really anything to play off for Red Team here either for the DuMmTm. They can't risk pushing out with too many players down, or else backup potential becomes huge, and if they leave people back that they need in the fight, then they're just gonna lose the fight either. So both sides playing it safe for the most part. At the end of this, they're just both sacking at the moment, playing it safe, and again, both teams picking up the spy, hopefully not bumping into each other, just checking for them beforehand and missed immediately on the pyro to counteract that as well.
And Lithuanian Rhapsody, they need to kind of come up with some sort of game plan here. They are...
That's just a spy, and the pyro is straight in front of it, but it's not aware. No spy checking going on anymore either.
Oh, did no one notice the pack disappear?
No, apparently not. They weren't looking at it. And now the pyro is just on denial duty, but not on spies.
Oh!
Checking duty!
No! That was so close. Muffin manages to stay alive. The sandwich being chucked out by his heavy. And really, it's down to maybe forcing out some sort of pressure from... If they can get Lou Van Gaals to push forwards and cap on some kills. Missed, going a bit too far forward, trying to get onto skills. It's going to go down. So they've lost a player. They lost DuMmTm as well. That's a two-player, right? That's pushable. They could push off this, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Coming on this left-hand side, waiting for the Uber to go in. Do pick up Martin. That's the demo down. This could be all she wrote. As right now, Ubers have been exchanged. The heavy has dropped onto the point. Skills does go down. The bomb does come in. They're starting to play the point. Tuja denying Tantrum, trying to do it, but that's going to be it. And that's going to be this Preseason 33 map cup going to Lithuanian Rhapsody, or hands up in the air.
Yeah, really, really close games. I'm really happy with that. And overall, even going into the group status way back on earlier this week, I think we only had one not close game on the stream, and overall, I'm pretty happy with the map selection, or with the game selection I took. It's always tough to make a choice what to watch, outside of obviously Grand Finals, which you would watch, you know, the Grand Finals is a given, but everything else is just kind of a gamble on what you would want to watch here. And I think for everybody watching, I had a decent selection of close games for the most part, so that's really nice, and obviously also good work to the teams here having incredibly entertaining games.
So just before we have a quick look at the logs, I know they are on the stream. If you guys have any suggestions or any thoughts on how to on which maps we should go forward into the season, you should get on TFTV and start putting up your posts, giving your opinions, because that's what this was all about. But we are going to have a look at the logs for first not the golden cap, but the main game. So if you want to just run us through that quickly, DuMmTm.
I mean, let's see what is interesting here, because I don't like just looking at the obvious things and damage killed. Those are always nice to see, I guess. And you can see Damo's farming damage. That's good to be expected. Skills again, being the tank for his team is, I guess, a little bit more interesting here. 10k heals on him, but also taking 345 damage. So the roles are fairly separate between him and Martin, which is interesting to see, especially taking the damage into account, which is a decent bit higher from Martin. But either way, Skills just playing this massive tank demo where Mist is just playing the tank scout in comparison. Fairly established on the first map, going to continue as a trend on the second one. Always interesting to see just that. Kill difference though, or death difference I should say, on the medics is much bigger in relative terms than it was on the last map. And again, so much of that alone was on the mid fights. And it really just made them either lose rounds fairly quickly or have to work their way all the way back from last to the point where it just wastes so much time. Better spent being in a much better position after a winning mid fight. And it's just happened time and time again.
And it's quite interesting. Euthanasia did a good job and managed to get 16 individual Uber charges off. Well, 15 and then 1 crits.
Which also was gigantic.
Yeah, that was a gigantic crits play. And Muffin's only with the 10. So you can really see that even though the damage was more in favour of Lou Van Gaal's, you could see that there was a lot more organisation coming out of Lithuanian Rhapsody. And I think that's what made them be able to close it out, especially on the Golden Cap.
Yeah, either way though, there was some nice plays from Lou Van Gaal's army either way to have some success, like the spy into immediate Uber exchange thing. Stuff like that, they still had their moments, otherwise it wouldn't have been anywhere near close enough of a game like this for just was, but it just wasn't quite enough in the end, and just minor moments of better cohesion were showing at times.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just thinking.
If you have nothing else to say, there's not much more time we can waste here, so why should we? We can just wrap this up fairly quickly. Have a nice evening. So any shoutouts you have, Grumpy?
Oh, we're just going straight to shoutouts?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I want to shout out my main man Beta for doing production this entire Sunday. We love you muchly, always dedicated to cast and to produce, so much love to you, Beta. Much love to my co-caster DuMmTm. It was a good laugh. It's nice to cast with you again. It feels like it's been a long old while. And thank you to everyone who's participated. And I just quickly, do you know the people who make these maps? Are they still, apart from Metalworks, I assume, because Metalworks is...
Yes, I'm pretty sure there's TFTV threads for both of these maps. Probably just one quick search of the map name away to find them. So if you have feedback directly to the map maker, you can find that there. If you have feedback regarding map implement, but if you have feedback regarding map implementation, head straight over to, I think ETF2L has threads regarding that, regarding your opinion of the map, if you would like to see them or not. And people always have strong opinions about maps, so make sure to have it known and not just be angry to yourself about it. So things happen that you would like to see happen on ETF2L.
You don't just have to be unhappy about it. You can be happy. You can give positive feedback as well.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. Positive feedback helps. But any shout outs from you, my friend Dum?
Well, I mean, you mentioned the most important one, so I'm just going to quickly shout out my boys on Spy Boys who somehow got second in the mid cup for this thing. I don't know how they did it, but somehow they did it. So good job to them. And that's about it. So let's wrap this up. We'll see you guys when the preseason playoffs start. I believe towards after the 24th, I believe the 26th or something is when they will start. So we'll see you soon enough.
Bye-bye.